What's up, guys? It's your girl Karma back with another Rocket League video. Surprise, surprise. And we're going to talk about the ranking system that was just put into Rocket League yesterday. And I'm going to shed some insight on it, my opinion on it, and potentially talk about some fixes maybe in the future if it's not perfect right now. And a few reasons as to why they did it. But first off, I would like to say I do have some bad news. On my channel, we were making a Becoming the Best series where I do 1v1 videos to get to Grand Champion. And after the new ranking system, we are now Grand Champion every category, which, not complaining. But it does kind of ruin the Becoming the Best series that I was making, striving towards getting to that Grand Champion rating. So, if we get like 25 likes on this video, I'll make a new account. I'll buy another version of Rocket League and go through 1v1s there, I guess. Or I'll also continue playing private 1v1s against other pro players and upload that. And I'll continue playing 1v1s and other forms of games on this account with the high-level gameplay as well if you guys are interested in that. But tell me in the comments below because I'm really not sure what you would rather see. Me climbing through the ranks again or me continuing to play at the high level that I'm at and just record over it, even though we're not, you know, quote-unquote, achieving like Grand Champion as much as we would have before because we're already Grand Champion, but we still are climbing the leaderboards. Right now, I think I'm like 70th in the world in ones, something like that. But we could always get higher, right? So just let me know what you think. And so let's dive into the Rocket League ranking system now and check out this little infographic here that I have. Give me 1 second. Alright, here we go. Alright, so if you guys look at the infographic that I have up here, it shows you the former ranking systems on the top, and then below are the current ones that they changed to. So if you guys look at the graph that I have in front of me, previously Grand Champions were 0.005% of the player base, meaning out of all the players in Rocket League, I think it's around 18 million. 0.005% of players were Grand Champion currently when they updated it. 0.02, etc. going down the line, right? So if you look at the recalibration, the current rank after the update is much more spread out, right? So the rankings are now taken from a percentage instead of an MMR-based system. So previously, you were granted a certain amount of points per win and per loss. If you won based on your opponent's rank, you'd gain a certain amount of points. If you lost based on your opponent's rank compared to your rank, you would lose a certain amount of points. And it was a fixed-based system, meaning there's a certain amount of points that get you this rank, a certain amount of points that get you this rank, etc., going from Prospect all the way up to Grand Champion. Grand Champion was 1,453 points, if I remember correctly, something along those lines. And it was throughout all of the competitive playlists on Rocket League. It was just a fixed-based point ranking system. Now, they've changed it so that it's a percentage-based ranking system. So it's based on the total player base and what percentage you fit into. So if there's 18 million players and you are in the top 0.2% of all of the players that have played the game, you will now be Grand Champion. So before, it was not like that. If you could be anywhere between, you know, All-Star to Super Champion, etc. If you look at the ranks at the top, you can see for yourself. But now it's also separated by playlist. So the more people that play doubles, Grand Champion is harder to get in doubles than any other playlist because more people have played it. Same with 1v1s. Or 3v3s and solo standard, I think, are the least played playlists. So, based on how much you play, they would technically be the easiest to get Grand Champion in because it has the least amount of players playing. So, you could be in the top percentage on that playlist and not be top percentage in 2s, but be top percentage in 3s, and you would get Grand Champion, right? So now, basically, they've just updated it to a percentage-based ranking system. Okay, everyone, so we're going to take a look at another game called CSGO, which is another popular esport, and compare those ranking systems to Rocket League, if you look right here, their ranking system has Global Elite as 1.14% of their player base reaching the highest rank, which is like Grand Champion in Rocket League, right? And they actually have a higher percentage of players reaching Global Elite than Rocket League does at having Grand Champion. Rocket League has 0.2, CSGO is 1.14. And CSGO also has more players than Rocket League. Again, if Rocket League had more players, perhaps they would increase the amount of Grand Champions. And we're also going to take a look at Hearthstone, which is a game that I played professionally before Rocket League, which I think has a perfect, almost perfect ranking ladder system, so that you guys can also see what their rating system looks like. So let's go take a look at that right now. Alright guys, here's the Hearthstone ladder ranking system. Hearthstone, being a game that I played professionally before Rocket League, has 0.5% of their player base as Legend, which is equivalent to Grand Champion in Rocket League. Again, Rocket League has less players than Hearthstone. Hearthstone has about 25 million players. Rocket League has about 18 to 20. So their Legend ratio might be a little higher because of the number of players. If Rocket League had that many players, maybe they'd raise the Grand Champion percentage. But as of right now, Grand Champion is harder to get than Hearthstone's top tier in their game and CSGO's top tier in their game. So I think that Psyonix did a really good job in evaluating the ranking system, and I'm going to explain why. Okay guys, so here's why I think the rank recalibration system is a really good thing for Rocket League right now and going forward. Compared to the other ranking system in games, it's actually less than what other popular games have as their top skill tier. So I think that is a good thing for Rocket League. As well as, from a business standpoint, if you are trying to make the most money possible from a game, you want to have all of the players that enter the game feel like they have the opportunity to become top tier in that game and have it somewhat achievable for casual players. Now, it's not good for professional players like us who find that rank easily achievable because of how much time we put into the game, how dedicated we are to the game, etc. So it worsens it for us, but from a casual business standpoint, it's a really good use because you always want the players coming into your game to be able to feel like they can reach that rank. It is possible if they put in the amount of time. Now, unless you had an exceedingly large amount of time to dedicate to the game and you had exceptional Rocket League skills, even some professionals previously in this ranking system that they had before were having a hard time reaching Grand Champion, which is good for the professional players. I get it. But for everybody else, that is a really, really bad system to have. It prevents players between Prospect, Challenger, and Blue from ever thinking that they could ever achieve the highest rating in the game, which is really bad for a game from a business standpoint. Again, you want to have everybody feel like they have a chance to reach that top thing. You always want to have everybody have that drive to continue playing the game to reach that pinnacle within the game. And the more that you have that disparity between how hard it is to play and where the average player's skill rating is, if you look at this, the average skill rating player is basically between Prospect and Challenger before, which is just, it's too low. They don't feel like they have a chance to reach that Grand Champion. Look how even pros were having trouble reaching Grand Champion. So the dedicated player base is not going to be there for Rocket League. If you are a Prospect Elite or Challenger player, you won't want to keep continuing to put in time to get to Grand Champion because you probably won't think it's possible. The disparity is way too big of a gap. So by lowering that gap now and making ranks easier to achieve, it gives the player more of a satisfaction whenever they rank up, now that it's easier to rank up. And that little burst of satisfaction will want you to keep playing. Similar to Hearthstone. You only have to win 5 games to go up a rank in Hearthstone, right? 5 games is nothing. That's how it should be in Rocket League. Every 8 to 10 games, you want them to feel that satisfaction like, hey, I've improved and I'm improving with the game. And you want them to go with that feeling that makes them keep coming back, etc. And that's what this ranking system does and why I think it's really good for Rocket League moving forward. It'll create a larger dedicated player base, which will create more and more players coming into the game, and that is just good for the game in general. It's good for the pro scene. It's good. Okay guys, now I'm going to talk about what they could potentially do for the pro players and high skill tier players that are a little upset right now about like their constant grinding and achievement, hard to reach rank is now being taken away, and it makes it a little bit easier for them to reach now, so they've lost that kind of drive and sense of satisfaction to keep playing the ranked. And similar to CSGO, if you're not familiar with CSGO, it's another game that I aforementioned in the video. They have a professional player slash high skill tier playlist in CSGO. And that's something that I've been advocating in Rocket League for a while, as well as some other pros who have been talking about it. Specifically, one that comes to mind is Jay Naps, who plays for Team Selfless, has a similar idea to me. And basically what I would consider doing is creating a playlist, if I were Psyonix, that is selective within its player base. So you would take top players from the top 10 list or top 16 list in the country that do power rankings. Take all of those players and add them to a separate playlist that is only visible to them. Call it the professional playlist, right? So only pro players and high skill tier players would be playing on the playlist. And that would be good for a few reasons. One, it helps other pro players continue growing, playing against their friends, and get better as a whole, which is good for the esports scene. Number two, it brings pro players together, right? Like, they'll be on Discord talking with each other. They'll be becoming more friends. It will help connect the pro scene together. Thirdly, it will be good for the Twitch viewing experience. When people come in and watch pro players who stream, which is a large majority of the Twitch viewer base right now is just pro player streams, they'll be playing against other pro players. They'll be listening to pro players talk with each other. They'll be watching the highest level gameplay. They'll be learning things. And it's just really good from a Twitch perspective, which Rocket League is kind of struggling with right now. If they implement this just from a viewer experience, it will be like tournament play all the time in a way. Even though it won't be as 100% serious, it will be really enjoyable to watch for the most part if players participate. And it'll be high level, which is something that people crave on Twitch to begin with. Another thing that it would really help out with is players who are trying to get noticed and proving themselves. So another aspect of this is that it would have to be updated. The only thing, I haven't thought about it too much. Hopefully Psyonix will think about it too much. But the thing that comes to mind is monthly updates of this playlist, right? So you'd have to continually cycle in players. And the list of pro players would already be on there, and they would continue playing. But you'd also add players who are top 100 skill rating. If you look at the skill rating right now, see, this is in doubles. I'm not on the leaderboard in doubles, but I do have a skill rating. So if you take the skill rating from top 100 or top 50, whatever number you decide, really, and implement those players in with the other pros, it would do really good things for them and also for the pro scene. It would integrate new players into the pro scene to play against other professionals and also potentially make a name for themselves going forward. If they're constantly playing against pros, other pros, and doing really well, pros will notice, and that will give them opportunities moving forward, and it keeps the competitive scene fresh. It also keeps the high level skill, gameplay, and drive to get better moving forward there. And it keeps them wanting to play and improve just so that they can have a chance at becoming a pro and playing on a team. And it also gives the ranked players something else to achieve. Once they've reached that Grand Champion pinnacle, it gives them something more to play for. And like I said earlier, it also gives the pros a reason to keep playing once they've reached that top tier instead of just private games amongst themselves. So that would be my idea for the skill rating. Private like a private playlist for professionals as well as top tier players that would be cycled in. And let me know what you guys think. It's hard to explain all this. I'm not very good at graphics, but hopefully listening to my explanation of what I think is going on. I'd like to hear your insights, so please leave a comment as to what you guys think, and I will talk to you next time. Thanks. Bye.